apologize to all the fans who are fans of NBA teams that missed the playoffs or already bounced, that there are two guys water skiing behind the Sixers and Celtics yachts tonight who are afraid to watch Game 5. I'm almost embarrassed right now.
Why? Because your team has no shot?
No, it's got nothing. Why would you even? What do you mean my team has no shot? First of all, as you know, I'm a casual Knicks fan, so
you've been all in this year.
No, I have been, because Jalen Brunson has been terrific, and I enjoy watching him play. But honestly, like
TJ and I are living and dying with each jumper,
right,
and the way this roller coaster, season and series has gone, it's like it's hard to watch.
You're living and dying, right? Living, so you're alive. Your team's alive. It is
when they do dumb things. I'm dying. A piece of me dies.
You know, the number of times that I sat in my living room watching Michigan play Ohio State and watching this thing go so poorly for me year after year after year. The number of times Susie would just walk in the room and see me prone on the floor, depressed, and then wanted to just leave me alone, and then came back 5 minutes later, and the score was 14 points worse than 5 minutes before, and I would get honey. The number of times that I would turn away from a game while leaving it on as it's just going and circling the drain, and I would then throw myself into the love of my children and just play games with them on the floor. I'm so happy now that Michigan has flipped the script in a way, even though those games give me intense feelings of anxiety.
You don't have to watch.
I'm alive, though. It is a number of times when Michigan was getting its ass kicked, and I'm like, man, Alabama fans don't go through this. Georgia fans don't go through this. I mean, there are anxious moments, but it's just like you don't have these moments where you're totally depressed and you're wondering when it's going to change. And man, instead of living and dying with the action, you're like, hey, do you want to play another game of war?
What else
with this deck of cards?
What else can I watch?
Hey, kiddo, do you want to play a little Monopoly? Huh? No, you're alive tonight. The alternative is you're eliminated. You don't make it. You're gone. Bucks fans, would they like to be involved tonight? Do you think? Yeah. Do you think?
Well, not according to Giannis.
Hold on a minute.
Giannis doesn't think it was a disappointment this year.
Oh, please. You think the Memphis Grizzlies want to be part of tonight's action? What do you think?
Probably.
Don't you think? Toilets. That's where they are.
Speaking of toilets,
I watch tonight, the game's going to be played, and the result is going to be what the result is. I have no fact. I do not factor in the outcome.
And speaking of toilets, I've already had one team whose whole season went down the toilet. I had to go through this roller coaster of emotion. Now I got to do it again.
But this is why you have multiple teams, TJ. Because you got options.
Because
most people listening to this don't have options.
No. That's true. No.
You have options because you
have
a glutton
19
for punishment.
teams.
No, you have options. You're
Don't
smart.
say 19 teams.
You got 19 teams. He's got 19 teams.
19 teams. The whole. They're not 19.
I'm just saying. I'm already bald. I have no hair to rip out. I could save myself a little anxiety tonight by not watching.
You're watching. You're not only watching. You're clearing the room. Get out of here, man. I got a game. You know what? You really want to talk about anxiety?
He's got to sign a.
Cooper's got his Little League playoffs begin tonight.
What time? We might come to that.
Come on by.
Come on down.
I think we're coming.
First pitch. Right when there's tip-off between the Celtics and the Sixers.
And
I'm happy to...
And I don't have to watch. I can watch your
I'm
boy.
happy to counter-program your anxiety by having you come and watch mine.
You guys should see this guy at a game.
Come on.
Oh, no, I can already tell.
Come on, man. You make it sound like it's bad.
I know, Rich, Chris. I know, I can already tell.
Should we live stream Rich watching the game today?
Yeah, we should put a GoPro POV
No,
on
we
Rich.
shouldn't.
Is Coop pitching?
Instagram Live,
Yep,
Rich
the whole
Eisen.
thing.
Excuse me. Now you've opened the can.
Play-by-play.
Is Coop pitching?
No.
Okay.
Well, at least it's not scheduled. I don't know. We haven't found out yet, but I don't think so.
Okay.
But
does he have pitching
go ahead.
eligibility?
I'm just trying to shift focus
Stop.
off of me.
You now must. You now must explain. I'm not like yelling at umps or other parents or my child.
That's
Absolutely not.
That's Susie's job.
When you say stuff like that, and it's a youth sport that my son is playing and my child is playing. Okay,
I just mean Rich has this super nervous energy. Like I give him grief in the morning. He's a pacer on the telephone.
I do pace.
And he's pacing watching Little League games.
I can't sit on. I don't sit.
He doesn't sit.
I stand behind the home plate. Yeah. I stand.
And then he goes around. He nervously eats peanuts.
Yeah, I do. I went through a whole bag of peanuts.
A whole bag of peanuts.
Well,
you need some sunflower seeds tonight.
Coop was pitching. I don't do sunflower seeds.
He was pitching that game.
What?
Oh, no, Rich likes peanuts.
Really?
You're a peanut guy? Yeah.
I deshell and I eat.
Yeah.
And then I go in again.
You put them right on the ground?
Until the bag is done.
You put them right on the ground?
Then I go in again.
Garbage them.
So I'm happy to counter program your anxiety by displaying mine. Please come by. As you know, my children always appreciate Cage Brockman time. Always. Although last time was he heckling the home plate umpire?
He was the catcher. He's very into the catchers. He likes the mask and the equipment. Yeah.
Very good.
Cage was heckling the catcher.
How was he heckling the catcher?
He was just like, "Hey, catcher!"
That's what he's screaming.
He was literally yelling, "Hey, catcher!"
Yeah, hey, catcher. That's what he's screaming.
Hey, catcher.
And some poor 12-year-old kid who's got on the tools. He's just like, what is that high-pitched voice of what's going on?
Hey, catcher! What's happening? Hey, catcher!
Seriously, would you really come to this game and not watch the Celtics Sixers game 5? Come on, I understand. Yeah, you're gonna be home. This is it.
Toss up. I don't know.
Literally, it's truly as tip-off happens. That's where I'll be. So
we're a dumb team, and I just can't keep watching it.
Okay, enjoy it. Give me a break.
It's not. Do you think I enjoy watching these games?
You must.
Here's the deal, right? I was telling him.
You have to.
I was so tense watching that Sixers Celtics last game, and then the Nuggets Suns came on, and it was a great game. And the feeling I had watching that was just like, I love basketball. I'm just watching a game.
Correct.
I was not tense.
You're not emotionally invested.
And it was so much more fun to watch that game.
Yes, but imagine the alternative is that your team is so bad. You know what? It has been. I remember I used to root for the Rangers before, Dolan beat that out of me too. And so I just remember. I remember one year, I forget what year it was. So I'm on SportsCenter, and I wanted to call baseball games. I kept knocking on the door of everybody there, saying, just let me do this. And, I was in a position of being considered too valuable on SportsCenter to be let off the desk to do assignments I wanted. And I understood that, and I'm like, I'm totally appreciative of you saying that I can't be let out. But after a while, the 150th 2 a.m. Sports Center of the year isn't as important to me as maybe cutting my teeth on calling baseball games, which I always wanted to do as a kid.
Understand.
So the options I would have were few and far between. And one time it came down, Rich, we need you to call a baseball game if there's a game 7 in a certain playoff series. I forget it involved the Avalanche. And that if there is a game 7, we will need to move this game to here, and we'll air a game on ESPN2 that you're going to call. If the hockey results go a certain way. And I then turned into the hockey game and rooted for the result I needed. And I hadn't been emotionally invested in a hockey game in forever. Mm-hmm. And I missed it. I missed being emotionally invested. I'm like, wow, this is great to be emotionally invested in a playoff hockey game that, by the way, went to overtime. And as you know, there's nothing more exhilarating than a Stanley Cup playoff game going to overtime.
Facts.
So I forgot about it. I just counsel you to. I understand that when the result, you put you through the ringer, you're just alive. You're alive, baby. You're alive. Go Jimmy V. Your toes are in the grass. You're laughing, you're crying. That's a day. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.